Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Gina and I make videos about houseplants and houseplant related content, and I make videos every week, and thanks for joining me here today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about displaying houseplants. And basically, I'm going to show you the different ways that I display my houseplants. Over the course of the last year or so that I've had my plant channel, some of you have asked me if I could show how I hang my plants, and then others have asked if I could talk more about like shelving. So that's what we're going to do today. So besides my huge love of houseplants, I also love decorating with my houseplants, finding cute ways to display them. So the main ways that I do it is by utilizing shelving like this or like this. And also I hang a lot of my plants from the ceiling, as you can see here. So those are the main things we're going to be looking at. Also, like putting plants on cabinets like this. And yeah, we're just going to look at a few different ways that I hang my plants or display my plants. So if there's something you see in this video that you that you would like a link to, let me know in the comments and I'll get you that link if I can. Oftentimes ways I display my plants are by using things I picked up at thrift stores. So in that case, I probably wouldn't be able to link it to you. But other things like this wall shelf here, I mean, I can totally link that, and I will put a few items in the description, but if there's something I missed that you liked, just let me know and I'll get that for you. All right, so the two main ways I like to display plants are by hanging them and using shelves on the wall. And so, you know, our plants, they're not lightweight. You can get heavy ceramic pots, and then you get that soil in there, and then when you water your plants, they're even heavier. So you have to make sure that the things you're hanging, your hooks and your shelves, are really secure. So I'm going to show you what I use specifically for hanging plants, and I pick up in bulk because I was hanging a ton of plants. I have so many hooks in my ceiling, it's kind of ridiculous, but I use them, and I love having my plants in front of windows. So I don't know, to me it's worth putting a hole in your ceiling to get that beautiful hanging plant look. So let me show you the hooks I use. Okay, so here is the type of hooks I use, and we'll open it up and take a closer look. And then also we're going to look at them hanging from the ceiling so you can see. So basically, so when you're hanging plants in the ceiling, you want to make sure that you can't just like screw a hook into the ceiling without some sort of device that will hold it. Because otherwise that hook is just gonna tear right out of your ceiling. So what I use, it comes with these. So you have to drill a hole in your ceiling, and then you slip this through the hole, and this will be in there as well. You know, I don't usually do this. My husband always does these for me, which is kind of nice, but I could totally do it if I had to do it, but he just always does it. So basically, it looks like this. So you have your hole in your ceiling, and then you pinch this together like this, and you push that up through into that hole. And then once it gets up in there, it's going to release like that. So it does that. And this is what holds in your ceiling. See, my hand is the ceiling. It's going to hold. It's going to be very secure. And then you just screw this piece on. So this particular hook, it comes with that device I showed you, and also it just comes with this piece. So if you're drilling into wood, you don't need any sort of anchor. You can just, I mean, wood, a screw in wood is going to be really secure, and you just attach these two pieces together, and then you can screw this right into like any, if you have like a beam maybe on your ceiling, this can go right into the wood beam. So that's kind of nice too. So you have two options. If you're using drywall, if you're working with drywall, you're going to use this. And if you have wood, you're going to just use these two pieces. And also these hooks will tell you like how much weight they can hold. So you want to try not to exceed that weight. I'm not sure exactly. I'll look it up and I'll put the weight limit here. I'm not sure offhand. I'm afraid I do have, not in this room, but in another room, I do have a kind of a heavy plant on a hook, and I'm just kind of watching it, because these hooks, it's this part here, this elbow here is what will start bending if it's too much weight on it. So I've just been keeping an eye on that, making sure it's not moving. So, all right, so I think that's it on the hooks, but I'm gonna take you in and we'll just kind of look at some of these hanging plants here. All right, so as you can see, I have used a lot of hooks in my ceiling. And here's even an empty one here. And I haven't put anything on that one because I don't want to, it might block this a little bit, this hanger on the wall. But if I put something taller, it would be okay. Now, my ceiling has that texture on it, which is, I've always hated it, the texture, especially like, not so much now, years past. When we lived in California, we had textured ceilings, and it was an older house, and it was just, to me, it was just not cool at all. I didn't like it. And then we did eventually have it removed. But something to keep in mind if you have a textured ceiling, a lot of times these textured ceilings, I flipped you guys around because I want to talk to you instead of just staring at my ceiling. But as I was saying, a lot of times these textured ceilings, if they're before a certain date, and I think it's in the 80s, I think they still did. I'm not sure exactly. You'll have to research it. But the textured ceilings, some of them have asbestos in them. So if you're putting, and it's, I mean, it's not a good thing, but it's not dangerous unless you start disturbing it. So when you're putting your hooks in the ceiling, you're going to be creating a lot of dust because you're drilling into the ceiling, and dust does come down, and if it has asbestos in it, obviously that's not a good thing. That can be dangerous. So before you start drilling into your ceiling, make sure that it's safe. So yeah, that's just something really important to keep in mind. So my house was built in 1999, so the textured ceiling is safe. It doesn't have asbestos in it. But the reason I really brought up how I don't mind the textured ceiling now is because I've put hooks in my ceiling in certain places, and then I've decided that I don't want them there anymore. And if your ceiling is textured, it is super easy to just patch up that hole and no one will ever see it. So same with like textured walls. Our walls are textured, not like as textured as the ceiling, but it does have, it's not just a smooth dry wall. It's got like a, and you'll see, I'll take you in closer and you'll see, but it's, if you're like patching holes, like nail holes, it's super easy to just patch it up and no one will ever know. So that there is a bonus with having texture on your walls and ceilings. So I think us as plant parents, we hang a lot of things, and I don't know. I feel like, you know, some people, well, like say you rent a home, you're renting a place, and they don't want you to, you know, put holes in the wall. We rented, when we first moved to Colorado, we rented a house, and we put one hook in the ceiling in that house, and it ended up being okay. But I knew that you know, if they didn't approve of it, then we could just easily patch it up. But anyway, I just feel like as plant parents, we put a lot of holes in walls. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm talking about that, but I don't know. I think it's important to talk about as plant parents. Anyways, so let's say you're renting a house or an apartment and you're not allowed to put holes in your walls. Another way that you can hang plants is by hanging them from your curtain rods. So let's see here. So like from your curtain rod. But you have to make sure, I mean, there's a lot of weight that's going to be put on that, and you have to make sure that that curtain rod is secure to the wall. And the only way I would feel it was safe is if I knew that it had a certain piece in it, and I will show you. All right, so what you need is you need to have a wall anchor. So basically, you're gonna drill your hole in the wall, and then you're gonna put this wall anchor in there, and then you're gonna, you push it all the way flush against the wall, and then you're going to put your screw in this wall anchor, and this secures it. This like opens up when the screw goes in. This kind of opens up, and it like grabs onto the drywall, and it's going to hold securely. So like my curtain rods, I know for a fact we did not use these. So I would never in a million years would I hang any plants from my curtain rod, because there's no way I know it would just rip out of the wall. So yeah, make sure you have anchors like this, which comes into play also when we are hanging shelves, which is the next thing we're going to talk about. Shelves like this. So I love using wall shelves. I have shelves all throughout my house, and this particular shelf, I mean, you can get really fancy shelves, or you can just, like this one I picked up at Lowe's. It was pretty cheap. I think it was maybe $10, maybe $12. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But you get the shelf, and I think this is Rubbermaid brand. And then you buy these brackets, shelf brackets separately, and they're like $6 each. And use these wall anchors, because you can't just drill a screw right into your drywall unless you're hitting a stud, which is just, I'm not going to go into the explanation for all of that, but if you're not drilling into a stud, which is wood behind the drywall, you're going to want to use one of these anchors. So I think when we hung this one of the brackets did hit a stud and the other one didn't. So on one of the brackets, we didn't need to use the wall anchor. On the other one, we did. So yeah, and then you can have beautiful shelves filled with plants, and weight doesn't matter. This is my Fittonia collection here. and it just looks so nice, I think. So yeah, shelves are another way I love to display my plants. So right here, this is another type of wall shelf, only this is like a shelving unit, and it is attached to the wall up there, and it almost looks like floating shelves a little bit, but this is where I keep my succulent collection, and it's just another way to display your plants. And I picked this unit up on Amazon, and I think it looks really nice. And I said that's my Fittonia collection. Wrong. That's my Tradescantia collection. And then I have some Tradescantias up here as well. And a Syngonium, but mostly we have succulents on this shelf. And I've attached lighting grow lights underneath there. And one thing I love about this shelf is if you use their little sticky tabs to attach, they actually do hold. This has been holding for over a year, probably almost 2 years, maybe 2 years now, and it's never had an issue. When I've hung grow lights in my IKEA cabinets, they seem to always end up falling. This doesn't, so that's a bonus. All right, so I am going to take you around my house, and we're going to look at some other hanging plants. And like here, I have this cabinet where I display plants, so I use cabinets for display also. And you can get macrame that you can hang right on the wall for displaying your plants. You don't have to hang it from the ceiling. You can actually attach it to the wall, which is pretty cool. So I have a few things like that we'll take a look at. So yeah, let's head out. All right, so we're out here in my main living area, and you can see I have shelves there. I have a shelf here, 2 shelves here, lots of hanging plants using the same type of hook that we used in the bedroom. And oops, there's an empty hook. So yeah, so here is the same, this shelving, or the shelf here, it's the same shelf from Lowe's, and I just picked some gold brackets instead for the shelf because I have a lot more gold in this room. Here's also those same shelves from Lowe's, the cheap shelves with some gold brackets. So over here, so this is where you can get like fancier shelving. These shelves came from World Market, and they were like maybe $40 a piece, I think. So it's, you know, a lot more than just the $10 or $12 at Lowe's. And then these are fancier brackets, which I think I got those from Anthropology. And they may have been like $18 a piece. So, I mean, you can get as expensive or not as expensive as you want. I like the way this looks, but my little cheapy shelves and brackets look just as nice, I think. Once you get plants on them, no one's really going to be looking at those shelves anyway. So yeah. All right, so another way I like to display my plants is by putting them on plant stands. And over here is a perfect example of some plant stands that you can use, or you can use a basket. It looks cute. I have that for my golden or my Hawaiian pothos. This is an IKEA stand. It looks nice. This is a little more of an expensive stand. I got this one from Urban Outfitters. And then this one, let me go around here. This one came from the Goodwill. It's vintage. I think I paid $10 for it, and I love it. And then here is another kind of shelf display. I think this is probably for books. It's like a bookcase. I use it for, obviously, plants. And that was like maybe $10 at an estate sale. So it's good to look for plant stands and stuff at estate sales or thrift stores. So I was talking about how you can, some macrame, you can just hang from the wall instead of going into your ceiling once again. And you can get pretty little hooks like this. I think I got this one. Yeah, I got this one at Anthropologie. And this one has those wall anchors because there's quite a bit of weight here. This macrame hanger I made myself. It's really simple and it's an inexpensive way to make some, to display your plants. You can make it yourself, you know, like this one is just a bunch of square knots, which you could, I learned to do macrame by watching YouTube videos. You could totally do that as well and save yourself some money. This holds my philodendron micans and my Cebu blue pothos. So I think it looks cute. All right, let's move to another room. All right, so this jungle room here is my dining room, and I've used several different of my favorite ways to display plants in this room. We have cabinets, we have shelving, we have plants hanging from the ceiling, and plant stands. So let's take a closer look. So here is my IKEA Millsbo cabinet, which this is a more expensive way to display your plants. So if you have the means to do it, definitely do it. It looks really nice. Or if you don't, if that's too expensive, you can always go with, I always see china cabinets like this or similar to this at the thrift stores. You could easily turn something like this into a plant cabinet. I just have a plant sitting on top. I have a lot of china that I needed a house for, so I can't use that for plants, but you totally could. It is an option. So here I have some floating wall shelves, which I did add extra brackets to this because it was pretty flimsy, and before this would just like bounce. If I went like this, it bounced a bit. Now it's like totally secure, which is good because my Ripsalis put a lot of weight on those shelves. So down here we have lots of plant stands. This gold one here I picked up at an estate sale for like $10. Estate sales and thrift stores are such great places to find plant stands and stuff for display. This one, this long console, came from the Goodwill and I just painted it white. It looks nice. Here we have more plants hanging from the ceiling. And this rattan or wicker piece, I got this at an estate sale, and I'm not sure, I'm sure it was not intended for plants. I was thinking maybe, I couldn't figure out exactly what it's supposed to be. I was thinking maybe there was like a metal piece that went in there and it would be used for umbrellas, possibly. But it just fits my plant so perfectly. This pot, just like, it's like it was meant to be. And it looks so cute with my Hoya snow caps. All right, so this room is my living room, and once again I've used more shelves I love shelves and more hanging plants and more plant stands. So also something different in here is I have these hanging like wicker baskets, which you can find these sometimes at thrift stores. I think I purchased these on Etsy, so they were a little bit more expensive. But it's just another fun way to display your plants. Hanging baskets on the wall. So these are the same wall shelves from Lowe's, the cheapy ones. I just went with black brackets on this one because I just, once again, I kind of I like to match my hardware to my, just match up all my hardware. So I have the black curtain rods. So I went with the black brackets. Plus I have a lot of black and white in this room. I like the black and white. Black and white. So yeah. This shelf came from an estate sale, really cheap. So this last room is my office, and I've used all the same ways I like to display my plants. For instance, this IKEA cabinet shelving unit, which I think is called the Vitz Joe. So we have that, and we have a plant stand. We have hanging plants. Over here we have more shelves. These are a little bit more expensive. These came from Urban Outfitters, although I got these on sale, so they really weren't that much more expensive than what I got at Lowe's. And these came with the hanging hardware also, those brackets. Over here is my little Lowe's setup, the shelf and the brackets, which works out nicely for my African violet collection. Aren't they pretty? So if you want to get really wild and crazy, you can go to any of your Lowe's or Home Depot and pick up one of these trellises like this and paint it and stick it to your wall, and it's another way to display your plants. Put your climbing plants on it. That's my pink trellis. So yeah, I think that covers everything. This is a cute little plant stand for a tabletop. All right, so I hope this video helped those of you that had questions about ways how I hang my plants from the ceiling securely. Those who had questions about my shelves, the type of shelving I use. Hopefully this answered those questions. If not, let me know and I'll see what else I can do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I make videos every week, a lot of times twice a week. And I'd love to have you here as part of this community. And I hope you guys are having a great week. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.